So happy Sunday, everyone. This is Greg Dixon, your Chief Officer for Fun, Chief Fun Officer for playingmusicforfun.com. And today I'm going to help you learn a song. I'm going to go through the process of learning a song. I have a couple of people in mind for this. One is a senior, has a mandolin, one wants to learn how to play This Little Light of Mine. And others, my wife Bonnie, who has a ukulele and would like to learn how to play that too. And to be honest, I have to learn this on guitar to play along as well. So it's for me too. So here's the process. I've created an article about this. It's at playingmusicforfun.com, how to learn a new song. And it has everything you need. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this right now. And let's give this a go. Gonna make this like that, and I'll pop over there. So here it is. Here's it's a blog post really on the website, and we picked This Little Light of Mine because it's a song that almost everybody knows, everybody can sing along with, and it's pretty snappy. And so the first strategy here is start with listening. And I found a version of this. There are probably hundreds of versions of this on YouTube, but this one here was kind of catchy. And I'm just going to play a little bit of it. Animation, and the lyric. So the idea with this is if you're learning any new song, is to listen to it a lot. Many times you're learning a song that you probably already know, but if it's somebody new, if you're wanting to get together with friends or a band and you're learning a new song, this is one of the first things I do is I find a recording of it and I listen to it a lot. And here I've written out a few things to listen for: the overall feel and rhythm, phrasing of the singing, chord changes, the structure of the song, such as a verses, chorus, and instrumental breaks. So all these kinds of things. And so this is, if you're going to play, let's say just jam, or you're going to join a ukulele circle or whatever, this is the kind of thing is how you can learn. Sometimes it's if you're starting from scratch, all of this stuff can be kind of overwhelming, but I'm trying to put the steps here. So first of all, tuning your instrument. So here it says nothing you play will sound right if your instrument is out of tune, and that's true. And as you're practicing, you're learning how to hear these things a little bit better. So there's I'm going to demonstrate on the guitar here. Let's see if I can pull this out without wrecking anything. Oh, yeah, I should say I'm recording this in our RV, sitting on a bench, and there's not a whole lot of room here. So I'm just going to maybe make this full screen for a bit here. So this I use a little electronic tuner that this is called a snark. You can get it at any music store, order it online. There are a bunch of different variations, but this is pretty good. And you play a string, and it shows you whether your string is flat or sharp. Oops, it helps if you play with the right string. And the better players will learn to hear that. And there's also some approaches with playing the intervals. But anyway, the tuner, when you're getting going, an electronic tuner can help a lot. I'm going to shut this off. Try to move the guitar without blowing anything up here. That's the beauty of live broadcasts, right? Is if something goes wrong, it goes wrong on camera. So I'm going to put that over there. And if you don't have a tuner, there are other ways. One of the things about this presentation here is there are tremendous assets online. And one of the ones here is I come across, I searched with Google search and came across uh, this here. It's a Paul Davis's guitar tuner. Paul Davis has a guitar training program. And anyway, I'm just going to go pop this up here. Actually, I have it open in a different tab. I'll open that tab and share this tab instead. So this is actually pretty amazing. Oh, I should have left my guitar up. Anyway, um, so here you can press and you can say a note. Boo. Anyway, I should have brought it back. Anyway, just trust me that if you play a note here, it'll show up on this little on this gauge. All right, there we go. Ooh. So there we go. You can tune anything, including your voice. And here it's got you can selections for bass, ukulele, all the way down, chromatic, all variety of things. And then what are the options here? So if you play, you can tune your guitar into various kinds of tunings, other instrument. When I talk about the instruments here, I'm always going to talk about a standard tuning, which is what the normal tuning is for your guitar or your mandolin or ukulele, but there are always alternatives to that. So, I'm going to go back to the article here. So the other challenge, I got to share this tab. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now we're good. So the other challenge that people have is they might have a sheet music or a book even, and they don't know how to play the actual chord. So this is a chord on a guitar, and just I put some notes in here on how to explain it. This little double line at the top is right at the sort of what they call the nut. It's at the top, closest to the tuning strings, and then here it's suggesting you place your number one finger, which is your index finger, there, and your second one, and then the third. So depending on your dexterity, that could be pretty challenging to play. And so one of the things is you may need to practice each of these chords separately for your instrument. So you can, maybe one day all you do is you pick up your guitar, you tune it, and you try playing that G chord, and then just put your fingers in there and you strum it, and listen for, if you're not pushing the strings down quite right, it won't necessarily ring properly. Oh, the other thing I'm going to explain about this chart is there's these O's on the top. So those mean let those strings ring. But here where there's an X there is avoid playing that string. You can mute it or just start strumming these strings here. And the reason they do that is these notes here make up the chord and sound good together. These, if you let these other strings ring, they're going to clash a little bit here. And I mentioned the standard tuning of a guitar. So the first, that's an E string followed by an A, then a D, and then G, and a B, and an E. And a 4-string bass is basically the same, except you don't have these right 2 strings. And these are they get higher in tone as you go from left to right here. And again, here I've got a little note here. Be patient with yourself when learning a new chord. It may take a while to get your fingers to press the strings comfortably. And I come across this. I've subscribed to a number of guitar magazines, and I was trying to learn a song, and there's a chord in there that was way more tricky than this. And the little note says, you'll probably need to practice that, just positioning your fingers on that chord every day for a week before you get comfortable with it. So that's one of the challenges for a new player is is playing a single chord is takes some practice, and then being able to switch fluidly as you're going through the chords is some takes some practice. And I guess the thing is just to be patient. And sometimes it's better just to pick it up and work on something for 5 or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. If you get to the point where you just want to sit there and play for a long time, but you don't need to push yourself really to the point of frustration. And here the same. This is basic fingering for piano, and they're all. I have to say, there are alternative fingerings for everything on the guitar, piano, any instrument. But these are the basic ones, the simplest ones, the best ones to start with. And ukulele, um, yeah, these ones here. The ukulele has 4 strings. Usually, the neck is pretty narrow, and fairly easy to play, and it's just phenomenal. I'm going to do a thing on TEDx presentations on YouTube, and just there's some people in there just do absolutely amazing things with a ukulele. Like it's hard to imagine you can make a ukulele do the things, classical music, rock stuff, Jimi Hendrix, everything. And here's the mandolin, um, and what's different about the mandolin is it has really 8 strings. It's got 4 pairs of strings, but each of the pairs are tuned to the same note. So when you finger the 2 strings together, and you just consider it one note. So there's finger 1, finger 2. So the good thing about this on mandolin is the patterns are pretty similar, and you only need 2 fingers. This one here is maybe if you have trouble with dexterity in your fingers, this one here, the D chord, might be a little bit tricky. The rest are pretty simple. And here again, the standard tuning of a mandolin is G, D, A, and E. And what's different about a mandolin compared to a guitar, for example, is the guitar is tuned. Each string is a fourth apart for the most part, and in the mandolin it's a fifth, which is more like a cello or a violin. Many of those are tuned in fifths, and that just means that that's why these ukulele and the mandolin chord patterns look different. The other thing is, many people, if you're learning a song, if you're going to sing along, it's useful to have the lyrics and the chords on a single sheet. And if you search on Google search, there are lots of places where you can find this. I searched and found this one here, and I'm just going to show it. And share this tab instead. So yeah, this is showing, this is a good display. This is a PDF that somebody's uploaded. Songbooks with Emily, songbooks with Emily, I guess. And so this is how it works. Normally you have it shows the G, the chord symbol, the chord letter above. So you're playing a G while you sing all these parts here. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And then it changes to the C chord, the G, and then E minor. So there's basically 4 chords there. And then there's fairly little quick. It's out, down, down, down. It's a little rundown. So this is, I didn't want to violate their copyright by putting it on my site. So, but there's a link there on the article that you can go there and you can read it. You can read it online, and you can also just go print. Okay, so let's go back to our article here. Share this tab instead. Yep, there it goes. A miracle. All right, so playing along. So now you've learned the chords. You've heard it. You've listened to it a lot, and now you want to play along. When I'm playing bass or even guitar, I'll have, rather than that sheet having pages of each thing, that's not really very manageable when you're playing 10 songs or 12 songs. So what I do is I will take a piece of paper and I'll put the title in there, and then I'll put some notes about what chords to play and how to play them together. So again, I sometimes try to indicate the spacing, but you just have to listen and know when to play each chord. So, but here there's a tool here. It's called Chordify, and I have a subscription, but I think you have access to this. Anybody can get access without joining. And what they've done, this is really quite brilliant. If you're wanting to learn a song, almost any song that you can think online, anything that's um, on YouTube for sure, they will have what they will do is they'll play that video and then they'll scroll along the the chords for your instrument here. So the first one here is yeah, that looks like the mandolin chords. It is. That's what it says. Amazing. I'm gonna play here.
This the light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This the light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This the light of mine, I'm gonna let it.
Yeah, so it shows you the chords right here. In this view here, it shows you the fingering for the ukulele or the mandolin, and it shows you as it goes. You can see it moving through the chords, and you can read the letters here on the bar. So this is a pretty good way of learning songs, learning to play along with something. And I've included one for guitar, and it's just.
This the light of mine.
Yeah, so those shows you those chords and then ukulele chords. I haven't put the piano in here yet. Probably will at some point here. So, so that's a fabulous tool for playing along. Um, and maybe you're going to play at a ukulele circle. So the whole thing is, um, or mandolin, or go to a jam session or whatever. Or if you're just playing on your own. So you can play along to the recording, play it along to the YouTube video with your instrument and try to follow it, um, or follow along with something like Chordify. And here's the good news. Here is really the good news is with those four chords, you can play thousands of pop songs with those four chords, and actually every song can probably be adjusted to fit and use those four chords. And so the work of learning those chords will pay off. Of course, when you're playing in a band, uh, it's a little bit harder because you may have songs with many more chords, or they play it in a different key. I play bass with someone with who plays basically the same three chords all of the time, and she uses a capo, so it's really easy to follow along with the bass. And I guess if I just with a capo, I could probably tag along in guitar too. It's a little bit more challenging if you're trying to play a piano, because you have to actually know all the chords and all the notes and be able to change on the fly. So I think that's all for now. And yeah, just those are pretty good tools. Basically, just going to go summarize it again. The best thing you can do is find a recording of that. And almost everything you ever want to play is on YouTube, and just listen to it. Listen to it a lot. Um, get comfortable with it. See if you can hear the chord changes. I think you'll probably hear where they're going, and then learn how to play each of those chords on your instrument. For example, the ukulele or the guitar. Learn the fingerings, and again, be patient. It'll take you a while to be comfortable with each finger position, and then it'll take even more time to be comfortable changing with the music as you're going through. So the whole thing is experiment. You'll try different strumming patterns, make it sound good, and be patient with your learning process. And then eventually you'll get to be pretty fluid with your playing. And the whole thing is to have fun. So that's all good for now. You go go to the website, playingmusicforfun.com. How let's see if I put in how to learn a new song, and go check that out. And thank you.